Today, on Be Something Wonderful, how to persist in your wish already fulfilled. I am your host, Tom Kieran, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, welcome back. Lots of great sessions yesterday. I want to talk about one in particular with this guy I talked to about 5 months ago. And at the time, he was on a break, although it turned into be a long break with his ex. And they had been dating for almost 4 years. So it was a long-term relationship, but things just weren't. He wanted to. He was pointing to talking about marriage. They both were at some point, but for some reason they both felt that maybe they should take a break. Things were just getting a little bit stressful. It was with their work. It was in their personal life with their friends. All sorts of things were happening, and so he said, we just decided to take a break. We know that that we're going to be together. Well, the break turned into a longer break than he thought, and she was even dating another guy, and so he really wanted to get back with her. He was trying. He was talking to her. They would talk and all. There's no animosity. There was no fighting. There was nothing like that. So but he wasn't doing anything. He was sort of he said, Tom, I'm persisting in my wish fulfilled, but it's just not going anywhere. She continues to date. And as I talked to him, we both, as he came to this realization, as we were talking, I said, really, you're not persisting, you're insisting. You're insisting that she not be with this guy, that she comes back, that you two get back together. And that you start planning your wedding. He's been imagining them planning the wedding together. And so during that, you're waiting, you're in a waiting mode, you're in a lack mode, you're not seeing anybody, even though he's had opportunities. And I really pointed to this idea. I go, when you're persisting in your wish fulfilled, is it fulfilling? And he really admitted, he goes, no, it's not fulfilling. So this was the key. So I said, that's where you want to get to. I go, the imaginal scene's fine with you planning the wedding, but you've felt it real. You can do it again and really feel it real, but live your life. Stop insisting, right? And move into that end. Just move into the end that it's done. You know it. You know you're going to be planning a wedding. And date if you want to date, because he was uncertain whether he should. There were some people that he could. And I said, do whatever you want to do, because you're creating the reality within. I want to unpack this because the session last night was they're planning for their wedding. They are back together. So he's got everything he wanted. It wasn't exactly the imaginal scene in the planning. I go, but it doesn't matter. You're planning for your wedding. You're there, right? And he's really happy. And he goes, Tom, I've never felt so light and non-attached, even though I know we're together. It's just a whole different feeling and a whole different relationship between them now. There's no longer the sort of this tension and this attachment. So I want to go over this. Persisting in your wish fulfilled is fulfillment. It is fulfillment. It's not about insisting, it's about persisting, right? It's not a process of effort to achieve fulfillment. That's what he felt. That's really what we had God at. He reminded me of this stuff. Of course, I didn't even remember what we exactly talked about, but he pointed it out. And it's not a process of effort to achieve fulfillment, right? If persisting in the imagined end or the assumed end of your desired reality is not fulfilling, you are still identifying with your old reality in the old man and the old version of yourself. This was his discovery, right? Persisting is resisting. When your focus is on becoming something or having something versus already being that someone version of you or that already has what they desire, right? The resisting when you're focused on becoming something or having something versus being that something versus having that something, right? Being that person that already has it, right? So we're going to talk about this in a different way today. Persistence means beginning at the end and staying there. Do you hear this? We've talked about this before, but it's not about insisting. It's burning the ships, right? You're going to the end and you're staying there, but burning the ships without resistance, from a conviction, from a knowing, right? It's about making your desired or imagined end the starting point or beginning of the process and resting there, right? Making your desired end the beginning. That's where you begin. You begin at the end, right? This is what Neville really meant. Neville Goddard means about resting, about living from the end or living in the end. Making the desired or imagined end the starting point, beginning of the process, and then resting there. Beginning and ending in the end, right? And I like Revelations because in 22, in Scripture, this is what it says. This is Jesus, right? I am the Alpha and the Omega, the first and last, the beginning and the end. It's clear there's no middle. There's no middle ground of either how it's going to happen or going back and forth and holding on to your old reality while still lighting up your new reality. There's no middle ground. You've got your desire, and that desire is fulfilled. You've got what you want, and it's fulfilled. Right? Your wish and fulfillment. It happens right there. It happens all at once. It happens as you occupy that end. Right? And then it says also in Revelations, behold, I'm coming quickly, and my reward is with me, to render to every man according to what he has done. Hear this. I love how that behold, right? Behold. What does behold mean? Behold means whatever you persistently behold, you manifest. Behold. Whatever you persistently behold, you manifest. Looking within to that Christ within you, that I am. Right? And then it says, and then you see you are transformed into that new version of yourself when you behold it, right? I am coming quickly, meaning I'm already there. Notice the verb tense again. I am, your I am, who you are. This is Jesus speaking, but remember, it's that higher you. It's that you that's already in fulfillment. I am coming quickly, meaning you're already there. When you're coming, you're there, right? You're not going somewhere, you're coming. You're coming to a place where you already are, and my reward is with me, meaning the fulfillment's already there. Do you hear this, right? To render every man according to what he has done, according to your imagination, according to what you have imagined, right? What have you imagined is the question. That's wonderful. That's powerful. So, and behold, this was said a little bit before that quote in Scripture, behold, in Revelations, and behold again, I'm coming quickly. Again, it's repeated. It's repeated here in Revelations, right? Again, whatever you persistently behold, you realize, you manifest. Coming quickly means it's already here, it's already done, it's already within you. It's the I am, right? And I am coming quickly. Blessed, right? Remember, blessed is he who heeds the words of the prophecy of this book. Prophecy, what is prophecy? Prophecy is the inspiration of spirit. It's the understanding deeply, intuitively, the law of God, the law of being. That's what the metaphysical interpretation of prophecy is. It's your inspiration from within. It's you understanding deeply the law of God, or the law of being. You understanding deeply that you already are that which you want. Right? And then heed means to give your attention to. Give your attention to these words of prophecy, these words of inspiration. Right? That's the true meaning of self-fulfilling prophecy. Right? It's higher thought. It's guiding your lower thought. That's what prophecy is, right? That's self-fulfilling prophecy. Self-fulfilling prophecy is you declaring I am, and then aligning with it and lining up with it and going to the end and staying there. That's self-fulfilling prophecy. That's big. You're inspired. You're fulfilled from within. Wow. Powerful. So, persisting in wish fulfilled is about embracing what the ancients called the secret of the excluded middle. What's the secret of the excluded middle? That everything must be either be or not be. There is no alternative or middle course. There's no alternative middle course. You're going to burn the ships. It either is or isn't. You're either in fulfillment or you're not. You're either in your new reality or you're not. You're either occupying your desired reality or not. As you persist in fulfillment as a center of and in the middle of the intelligent mind, right? You're in the middle of the divine mind, right? You merge with your desired reality and version of yourself. There's no middle or alternative to return to. Do you see it? As you imagine your wish fulfilled in the center, because you are the center of consciousness. Wherever you are, you're the center of God, and the fullness of God is within you. When you do that, you merge with your desired reality in that version of yourself. Then there's no middle, right? You burn the ships. You go all in on your wish fulfilled. Persisting in the end of fulfillment becomes effortless and natural. It becomes effortless and natural. Wow, big. Persistence has nothing to do with hard work, effort, or concentration. Not anything to do with it. It's about making an inner decision to exclude the middle and choose your new state, your new reality, your new version of yourself. Do you hear this? You don't have to go to the middle between, well, I'm not sure if I'm fulfilled yet. I'm not sure. I don't know. Should I date or shouldn't I date? What should I do? Exclude the middle. Go to the end. Live in that end. It doesn't matter if you date or not. You're there. You know it's done, right? Persisting is about experiencing that new reality and version of you right now. It's an experience. It's an experience of fulfillment, right? It's about allowing it to exist and have its being in consciousness. Do you see that? It's about allowing it to exist and have its being. From Romans, its being in consciousness to such a degree that the 3D manifestation, or in other words, the feedback in 3D reality, becomes natural, becomes obvious. It's almost uneventful. It's the next logical step, as Abraham Hicks says, right? You can't be experiencing your new reality. Hear this. You can't be experiencing your new reality and waiting for it at the same time. This is really a realization that we came to, that my client and I came to. And this is what he pointed out that we were talking about a few months ago, right? You can't be experiencing a new reality and waiting for it at the same time. Instead, you're deeply expecting it from within. It's a deeper expectation, a conviction from within that it's done. That really is how to persist in your wish already fulfilled. I am your host, Tom Caron, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button, like and share our videos. That's how we get our message out. You can follow us on Facebook at Be Something Wonderful. That's our organization page. We also have a group page called the Be Something Wonderful Ambassadors. It's an open group to anybody who wants to join, but then it's a private group. So you only share your insight and guidance with each other and your ideas and so forth. And also you can follow, and that's at facebook.com/groups/Be Something Wonderful. And you can also follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Caron, or just go to our website anytime at tomcaron.com or besomethingwonderful.com for all that information and more. Guys, this is Tom, creators. This is Tom with Be Something Wonderful, with great love, with great light and infinite gratitude. See you soon.